like I've said, we'll be creating simple shape in this video. We'll be creating simple shapes. Actually, these are shapes that can be found on your PixelLab. They are shapes that can be found on your PixelLab. Once you just click on shape tools, you can see them. But for the course of this tutorial, I'll be making use of those shapes, but based on the assumption that they are your sketch. Now let's assume this is your sketch. Now I've chosen the the shapes will be vectorizing, like the shapes will be using for our video. I've chosen them. So we have like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. We have 7 shapes which we'll be working on today. And so let's assume this is your sketching, because anytime you want to use your bezier tool, it is basically based on on your sketching. So anytime you want to use your bezier tool, you would have sketched out what you want to use it for, or perhaps you would have what you want to use it for in your mind, and so you can trace it out. We use bezier tool or max tool to trace out our sketch. And so let's assume this is your sketching. These are simple shapes. Actually, when you see complex shapes, you will know that this shape is complex. And so you just toggle your bezier mode. Once you just toggle your bezier mode, you can slide up and to change the color. So let's change the color of the bezier curve to this color. You can change it to any color you want to change it to, whatever the color you want to change it to. But let's leave. I prefer this brown. And then so you just okay. And so now don't forget your bezier mode. You can always use this to move it around. You can use this to control the point, and then you can use this to add another bezier curve. And so what we'll be doing now is that we want to trace out this particular shape. We want to trace it out. So what do? You clicked on your point. You clicked on this point. You use it to move. Don't forget, you have your arrow which is indicating the direction of the direction of the bezier curve, which is indicating the direction. And so what you just do is that you clicked on your bezier point, put it wherever you want to have it. You can have it at the top, you can have it here, based on wherever you want to have it. So I just click on here and have it at the edge, and then I can have it. Let me reduce the height first, and then so let's continue working. So you can place this here, and then you can place this here as well. And so what do? You will use your control polygon to bring the curve to where you want it to be. Don't forget, we are tracing out the object. You can always zoom in for better view and for better activities, for better actions. As you can see, before initially this point was not filled up. This edge initially this edge was not filled up, but immediately we zoom in, we can see it very clearly. And so you just clicked on the point, and then you bring it to the point, and then so you can zoom out again. To view this edge again. You can see it is not properly sitting on the edge. So what do? You bring it down to the edge. And so now you can see that this area, you can see on this particular area here, you can see that there's still shapes here, something white under. You can see that white stuffs here, that white line. That shows that the bezier curve is not really sitting on the object very well. So what do? You clicked on you bring out your bezier control polygon to move it down to the end. So once the control polygon is on your bezier curve, it is an indication that yes, it is aligned. Now let us bring down our let's toggle our grid lines. Now let us click on it. Let us see if it is straight. You can see it is lying under it, which is an indication. Okay, so sorry, it's not really straight. Okay, so it's not really straight. Let's fix it under. Okay, fine, let's untoggle our grid. And so don't forget, look at this arrow. See where the arrow is pointing. The arrow is pointing up, which shows that this is the front and then this is the back. Now I want you guys to understand something. Now we've created the right part of the shape we want to do, right? We've created it. Now we want to create the top, this part. We want to create this part. So how do we do it? You tap on your you tap on this tool, you tap on it, this particular tool, you tap on it. Once you tap on it, you tap on your screen. Have you seen it? Which shows that you want to add another bezier curve, so you can edit it. You can use your control polygon to bring it down. Don't forget you can zoom. And so let's bring the points to that. Let the 2 points meet. And so just bring it down to this point. Don't forget simple shapes. Those complex shapes might be complicated, but don't worry, that is why we have this tutorial. And so you can use your control polygon to move it. So don't let us bother about the straight line. You can deal with that yourself by toggling your what's it called, your grid lines. And so let's tap on the add curves again. You tap on it. So you can just, don't forget, always take a look at the let's zoom again. Okay, so, oh sorry, so you can bring it down. And so now I want you guys to notice something. Look at this area. How many bezier curve do we need? We need just one, right? We need just one bezier curve to fill up the whole space, to create a perfect shape, just to join it together, to join this point to this point. So instead of clicking here, instead of clicking on this place, we'll make use of our bezier actions. This is the point that the actions, which function is just to join the two angles together, the 2 points together. So once you just click on it, once you just click on it, sorry, there's a mix up somewhere. Okay, so this is the action I was about talking about. It was a mistake. It's not this one, it's not that one, it is this one, it is this particular one. And so once you just click on it, it will automatically give you a single, as I think we have to, we need 2 more bezier curve. That is when we tap. But the last curve you need, this is what you will always use, this particular one, just to join it together. Sorry. So this is what we need, because it close up the whole shape. It close it up. Now they are open. Now the shapes are open. Once you just tap on it, it will close it. Now you can use your bezier by your control polygon to adjust it to the straight line. Don't forget this controls this side. I'm coming. Don't forget this control polygon control the 50% of this side. Controls this control polygon that is here, control the 50% of this side, while the polygon that is here control the 50% of this side. Remember our first lesson about bezier, about the anatomy of bezier curve. It controls from here to here. It controls it. And so as you can see, once I'm working on this control polygon, there's a limit. It's not really working for this one. It's not working for this one. Is still the way it is. So all you just have to do is just to use it to work on that. I said we shouldn't worry ourselves about alignment, if it is straight or not. You can do that anytime you need to. So you just click on this one to work on the other side, and so you can use it. And so once you've joined the whole stuff together, you just increase the opacity. Okay, so you increase the opacity, you can change the color. You can change the color to whatever you want. And so don't forget, the bezier stuff on its own is a is a stroke. The bezier curve, the bezier line on its own is a curve, is a stroke. And that is why, once if you are looking at it, you see the color brown, the one we choose, the color brown that we choose during the first time we started this video, the color brand that we choose for the bezier curve, you can see it at the top. You can see it here. You can see it here. Can you see it? Now we want to make the whole object black. So what do? You come, this is the stroke. Okay, yeah, let me increase it. As you can see, this is the stroke. This is the stroke. And if you look at the edge, if you look at the stroke edge, you can see that it is curved. Why is it curved? Because the instruction you give the bezier stroke is for it to be curved. This particular instruction, that's it. You want the edge to be curved. You don't want a sharp edge. And if you want a sharp edge, you just click on this or this. You can see we've gotten a sharp edge. If you want a curve, if you want, this is good for logo designers. I usually make use of this. So you can just click on it if you want a sharp edge or whatever you want it for. And so let's try to change the color of the stroke so that it can fit our object as well. So you can see that's the color of the stroke. So you can just mark your stuffs like this, and then boom, you have your stuffs. You know, the reason why it went into small shape is because we still have the reason why is that we have our zoom stuffs, we have it on. So you can just increase it. If you increase it like this, sometimes it will affect, you can see it will affect the resolution. You can see it very well. So always make sure that when you are working on it, once you zoomed in, you can always zoom out before you clicked your done. Make sure you zoom out. Can you see it now? Initially it was not like this. Wait, let me, okay, edit. So done. And so you can see it now. We've created our shapes. So perhaps you don't really understand this one. So let's go to the other shapes again. Let's delete this particular one that we've created. So let's bring this one. Why is it turning big? I don't know. Okay, so we have this. Let's zoom out. Okay, so now let's pick our bezier curve. So let's change the color to brown. I'll prefer the brown throughout. And so what do? We've clicked on our point controller. Don't forget to take a look at the arrow. It depends on where you want to have the points. So now let's have this. Let's have it here. Let's have it here. Let's have it here. Let's have it here. Let's zoom out. Okay, so let's work on this. And so you can use your control polygons to work on it. You can see. Now there's something I want to say the other time, but I didn't say it. It's like I forgot. Now we want to add another bezier curve. Now look at where the arrow is pointing, which shows that this is the front, right? This shows that this is the front, and then this is the back. You get that. So now let me show you something. Now we want to add another bezier curve. Take a look at it. If I tap here, sorry, if I tapped anywhere away from this particular area, now let's assume I didn't know that this is the front, this is the back, and this is the front. Let's assume I didn't know, so I just tapped this place. Actually it will work because this is three and triangles, so the angles are 3, so it will actually work. Okay, in the next shapes I will show you guys what I want to show you. So let's assume I just tap here. Okay, so just clicked on your control. See, I said we shouldn't bother ourselves. So how many how many bezier curve do we need now? We need one to make the whole stuff. So what do? You join it together from here, and so you can use your control polygon to fix it, to control it here, always make sure it is balanced. Let me give you one key. Once your bezier once your control polygon once your control polygon and the bezier curve are on the same line, like the control polygon has covered the bezier curve, that shows that it is straight, depending on how you want it, if it is slantly, if it is horizontally or vertically. Once the bezier this particular control polygon is straight on its own. Once it is covering it, once the bezier curve is under it and the control polygon is covering it, just like this particular one, you can see is on a straight line now. This down part is on a straight line now. So let's see. Okay, so it's not perfectly on it. So now let us balance it. Okay. Now don't bother yourself about the white line. This is as a result of the white line you are seeing. This is as a result of either misplacement here or here, which shows that it is not balanced at the edge. But because I don't want us to bother about that. So what do we do next is that we increase the opacity to give it color. So the default color is white, and so let's change the color of the stroke to white as well. The color of the stroke, let's change it to white, and so you can see now we have our shape. Okay, sorry, let's change the color. Okay, so now you can see we have our shape. Despite the fact that the white line was showing on that during the process, you can see that the edge is straight, and that is because we bother ourselves about the straight line and not about this. And so I hope you get this now. I hope you get that. So now let's delete this and delete this. Now let's work on these shapes. Wow. Okay, so I'll be able to tell you what I want to tell you in this part. Let me check the time. This is 17 minutes. Let me break it here, and in the next video we'll continue.